Hello friends, welcome back and continuing on this AI learning journey. In this chapter we'll improve the application like engineers, and the previous chapters you might have noticed that the focus was more on making things work, but now once we have all the things coming together as a single package, all the good integration happening between different components, now we can start making the application easier to operate, easier to troubleshoot. So first we'll move the configuration out of hard-coded values. So instead of hard coding model names, URLs, we could definitely use dot environment files like we have seen in the previous video, and this makes the app easier to run in different environments. Next we would be adding logging. So logs help us to understand what the application is doing, and when in the AI world it becomes all the more important because all your dashboards might be green, all your applications might be working fine, but you still face some other issues. So then you need to definitely have set up all the logging metrics, traces, uh, and you cannot rely on traditional logging methods. So here we will add a logging. Logging helps us obviously to see what application is doing in AI apps, and logging can help us also to track incoming requests, model latency, errors, overall system behavior. But we need to be very careful. So why? Because we shouldn't log sensitive user data or private document contents without thinking about the privacy and compliance first. So this is a very tricky situation, and apart from uh, these things, we also need to think about the cost part. So let us first focus on how to get the basic error handling, and then what happens if Olama isn't responding. What if the model is missing? What if the request times out? So there could be multiple scenarios, maybe like if user sends an empty question, or the production needs to handle all these things gracefully. So it shouldn't look like a rudimentary or a very a school or a final year project from students. So it should look like a production grade thing. So we should think of all the scenarios and cater to all those edge cases as well. So we don't need to build a perfect enterprise grade uh, platform over here, but we can introduce the mindset. So a good AI engineering isn't only about getting the model response back and forth from the user and then back to the displaying it on the UI, but it's about reliability, safety when it comes to private or personal data, observability, and also most importantly the user experience. So the website, we should also advanced level, we could also track user behavior, but those are really advanced concepts, but it's always nice to have those things. By the end of this chapter, our API should be more configurable and more robust. So let's see what do we need to get started. We have this files, we have these dependencies, nothing fancy over here. We are doing some imports, OS logging request, and then we set up some logging at the info level, and we have these URLs and some models available here. And yeah, so let's go ahead and run this. Hopefully we don't see any errors. Okay, so these are basically the logs. So there was a question. Where do I see the question? Why does logging matter in AI services was the question, and then apart from that there are some other function calls that are being made. So each call has been tracked, and then we get some information. So let's do one thing. Let's delete the model and then see if we can still get a valid response. So how does this affect our user experience? So let's see Olama list, and maybe I can delete this model 3.2 rm. That's it. So let's make a call again and then see what sort of errors do we get. So if for example your user is trying to access a particular model which doesn't exist in the backend, what happens then? So yes, because we didn't find anything on the machine, so we should have handled this in a better way. So probably if user is not aware of model doesn't exist, or maybe if you're running some sort of a paid pro plan versus a free plan, then you don't have access, the free user doesn't have access to the higher end models, so then you have to accept the query. However, you have to respond in a graceful way that you need to upgrade it, this thing. So user not interested to read through all the error logs, so that's why logging is very important. And I will close this chapter. I will see you in the next chapter where we are going to map the local AI app components to a AWS production architecture. So that should be more interesting. So this kind of close to the wrap up of this whole series. I will thank you for joining, and I will see you in the next chapter. Thank you.